One thing that I think is underrated about Jimmy Butler's game, and specifically what Jimmy Butler does as an isolation scorer, is just how strong he is and like compact he is. Like you see it on possessions like here where Jimmy Butler is like leveraging himself inside of Robert Williams before lowering his shoulder and just slingshotting him across the court. Robert Williams has like 40 pounds on Jimmy Butler and like 3 inches. And Jimmy is still able to generate enough power to move Robert out of the way. You also see it on possessions like here where, you know, Jimmy is getting a switch on Joel Embiid, for example. And mind you, Joel Embiid is like 300 plus pounds, 7'1". Jimmy Butler is like 6'6", 230 to like 225 pounds. And he just moves Joel. Like, he sends Joel flying, and he does it with like very, very good driving mechanics, like using this inside leverage right leg to generate power before hard planting on his outside left leg to generate power and lowering that shoulder hard into Joel's torso, just like forces Joel to move. And then like you see some of like Jimmy's patience as a scorer, very good pump fake, gets Joel in the air. Joel actually has like a real avenue to still send his shot just because of how good of a shot blocker Joel Embiid is. And Jimmy quittorks his shot to be able to get an easy avenue to the rim and draws a foul here. Like Jimmy legit went at Joel Embiid. Like he went at a 300-pound Goliath for an entire series. And he didn't do it with like the raw audacious speed of like a Ja Morant or the like funky deceleration moves of like a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but instead just with like pure strength. Like here, Jimmy again just generating power through like hard plants and like good strides, lowering that shoulder and just like moving Joel backwards. He's creating separation, but not like through the traditional sense, like with your speed or just by like beating somebody off the dribble, like creating separation by moving the guy out of the way, getting him in the air. And again, like contorting his body at the rim to hide the ball away from the rim protector. And this is like a beautiful way to adjust yourself. And when you're doing it against like bigs, and not just any big, like Joel Embiid big, like there's no way that like wings are containing you. Like Jimmy catches the ball around the nail and TLC is a couple inches away from him, right? So a couple inches away from the nail, Jimmy puts his shoulder in him in the restricted area. Like he completely moves him. He just discards him. And like this is a fine contest. This is like actually good defense, but Jimmy's just way too strong and way too powerful for this to affect him. And I think plays like this go to show, even when you're guarding Jimmy well, like even when you're giving Jimmy legitimate issues, even when you're moving your hips well, that strength is like very imposing. Like this shoulder just moves Danny backwards and like he turns into another shoulder. Danny's forced the foul. He still gets the shot up, so he gets free throws. Like Jimmy is like genuinely very, 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 very incredible. And a big part of how incredible he is as a scorer is that strength. And obviously like stuff like back cuts and like transition seal outs and all the little, you know, small things that Jimmy does. Like even the mid-range scoring stuff is very interesting, but the strength is probably the most underrated part about Jimmy's game.